How you doing, you beautiful people? Yes, it's Saturday and I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I had a whole video planned out talking about our freedom here in Canada and how it's eroding on a statistical level. This puts a lot of time into that video. Lots of numbers, lots of facts, interesting things to think about so that you can talk about it with those who think Trudeau is the best thing since sliced bread or the Liberal Party is just so awesome and good in nature. Then Michelle Rempel-Garner, Conservative MP, drops an article saying that Trudeau is expected to announce he is stepping down or at least triggering a Liberal leadership race by Monday. Yes, Liberal leadership race by Monday. And I know many of you, I can already hear, I heard it through the screen just now. I heard it right here, just left here, saying, yeah, right, get real. We've been saying this for years at this point. This is not happening. However, the pressure mounted in the Liberal Party is now real. When we were talking about Trudeau stepping down in the past, the discussion was, well, it was just kind of like hearsay. Oh, like heard through his inner circle that he's going to be stepping down. But his party always stood behind him. There's only like one or two that would step out of line and then they'd get kicked out of the party, this, that, the other. But now, over 75% of the Liberal Party has said or issued letters saying, you gotta go, get lost. And now, no one except for Trudeau's inner circle of senior advisors are saying he's got to go. Everyone's saying it except for his inner circle. You know, the inner circle we talked about that we learned just last month had been sheltering him and insulating him from all critique. Well, now the critique is it's all in your face now. People are actually saying it in public that they don't want him. The people who have been in his party for so long are saying, please leave. So in a lot of cases, this is one of the first times Trudeau is hearing negativity and criticism from those in his party. And it's becoming very real and it's becoming out in numbers that I don't think he's realized. So now Trudeau is potentially thinking about stepping down. However, based on the rules and regulations with the Liberal Party, I don't think he's going to be stepping down. However, I do think he will be triggering a Liberal leadership race. This came from a senior columnist for the Globe and Mail, said that everybody apparently is gearing up for Trudeau's resignation announcement expected by Monday. They're saying expecting resignation. We'll see. Not holding my breath. And this was the interesting part about Michelle Rempel-Garner's article about this. First question she was addressing is, why are people saying that Justin Trudeau is about to trigger a Liberal leadership race? Well, late Friday night, news leaked out of the federal Liberal caucus that their caucus chair, Brenda Shanahan, had called a meeting of the party's National Caucus of Members of Parliament for Wednesday. The meeting is scheduled to be a whopping 6 hours long. This meeting has been scheduled as Mr. Trudeau has faced increasing calls for his resignation from self-interested Liberal members of Parliament whom he passed over for cabinet positions in a shuffle that happened right before Christmas and who are seeing their polling numbers plummet. And we saw this coming. I think it was Wayne Long brought this up. No one's going to say anything before Christmas because they all want a cabinet position. But as soon as the cabinet positions are announced, then the knives are out. And that's what we've seen in this Liberal Party. The 6-hour caucus meeting is presently being interpreted by the Ottawa Gossip Mill as a sign that A. Trudeau has made his decision to ask for a leadership race to replace him to be called, and that B. the Liberal caucus will be tasked with a series of decisions related to that process at their Wednesday caucus meeting. Additional evidence to support this theory is that the frontrunners to potentially replace Mr. Trudeau have already been burning the phones to line up support, Chrystia Freeland being one of them. She has come out and news has been breaking out that she's been talking to a lot of Liberal MPs and people in the party as she's gearing up to take on the bid for leadership of the party. She didn't take a Christmas break. She's been on the phones talking to everybody, trying to gain support and garner support, similar to what we saw happen south of the border with Kamala Harris. Learned that no one wanted her, but she made a bunch of calls, tried to shore up funds, shore up support to be able to make a run. And that's similar to what we're seeing Chrystia Freeland do. And this was a piece of the article that I thought was interesting that Rempel-Garner was putting out. Are we expecting Trudeau to quit as prime minister? And that's the part that's unclear, she said. Section 44 of the Liberal Party's constitution requires that the party's national board of directors select an interim leader in the event that their present leader triggers a leadership race. However, nothing in the document expressly prohibits that interim leader from being the person who just announced their intent to resign. And we know the character of Trudeau. We're not going to all put the blame on his senior inner circle. We know that he's a narcissist. He thinks he's awesome. He thinks he's the best leader. He thinks he's a better leader than his father. He thinks he's the best prime minister in all time. Do you know why he thinks that? Because we've seen this in his character and we've seen this in the behavior. Because he spent the most money out of any PM in history combined. In his mind, that makes him the best prime minister because he's invested in Canadians. or invested in the green slush fund that's also been filtered out to all his buddies. Anyways, so the price Mr. Trudeau exacts from his caucus for his resignation may be the ability to stay on the part as the party's interim leader. Yesterday, the Globe and Mail reported as much, stating that he had been looking for ways to remain on as leader while the process to replace him plays out. This move would allow Trudeau to have some control of the process by which his replacement is chosen, keep his cabinet picks and senior staff on the payroll for a while longer, and look for new jobs for himself while still holding the title of Prime Minister of Canada. And I don't think Michelle is off with this idea. As we said, we've seen this behavior play out. We know what his tendencies are and what he's going to do. He is self-centered, only looks after himself and those who are close to him. So he's going to try and maintain as much control over this as possible. He's been gutted out, pushed out, or slowly being pushed out, kicking and screaming. But this is the thing with the Liberal Party. Unlike the Conservatives, the Liberal Party doesn't actually have the power to oust a leader. All they can do is mount incredible pressure to tell him that he's not wanted here and to go. That's all their hope they have right now. That's the only hope they have. And that's the pressure that we're currently seeing. And Poilievre brought this up in the interview with Jordan Peterson. It is quite frankly disgusting to see these MPs come out now saying, no, we want Trudeau to go. Couldn't have been last year. Couldn't have been 18 months ago when people were struggling ridiculously. No, it had to be when they're on the verge of losing their job. No, it had to be when the pressure was now being put on them. It had to be when their needs were now not being looked after. So when I hear a Liberal or any politician, but in this case, specifically the Liberals, a Liberal, someone like, I don't know, Cody Boyce, Sean Fraser, and others, Wayne Long, House Father, come out and say, oh, we need this guy to go. I do not give a crap what you have to say. I know it took you till 10 months from the official election to call it out, but you burned Canada to the ground in the process. Congratulations. We've seen the crime rise all over Ontario specifically. It's been crazy seeing the crime that's happening in the GTA. We've seen the drug issues in Vancouver. And what's not mentioned, everything else is being felt throughout the rest of the country and feeling all those different issues to varying degrees. Sean Fraser did that. Cody Boyce did that. Wayne Long did that. Anthony Housefather did that. Chrystia Freeland did that. Stephen Guilbeault did that. Darren Fisher did that. I will not forget that. And I hope you don't either. But this is where we're at. Now that the jobs and the money is being affected by people in the party, now they're speaking up. And that's the point of what we're saying here. The Liberals have no power to oust Trudeau. All they have is public pressure. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have their caucus meeting on Wednesday. Trudeau is going to do what Trudeau does, because we know they're going to have this 6-hour-long caucus meeting on Wednesday. He's going to come up before that and try to own the narrative, try to get ahead of it. So that's why people are saying Monday is going to be the day. That either he's going to step down, that he's going to call a leadership race, and we are likely going to hear what's going to happen. One of those two things will happen regardless, any way possible. The hunt for a new leader will happen. And a couple things that Michelle pointed out in her article as well is that he could just step down and step away altogether, not call a leadership race. And then the senior officials of the Liberal Party can put in whoever they want to finish out the day, finish out the term. Similar to the Democrats, they're going to install somebody without any democratic process. You're bringing American politics north of the border, they said. Isn't that the Liberal way? Accuse those of what you are currently doing. So we'll see where this goes. But it's heavily expected by Monday, Trudeau is going to have made his move. He's going to have made his decision and announced it. Either he's stepping down, or he's continuing, or he's launching a leadership race to then replace him. He's going to stay on as interim prime minister. Either way this goes, it sucks for Canadians. That's the problem. Nothing that's being discussed is in the best interest of Canadians, which is no surprise to any of us, but it just stinks. It hurts. It's gross. It guts you a little bit, knowing that these are the people that have been in power for 9 years. It was never about us. As much as they say, oh, we do it for Canadians. It was never about us. It was always about them, their paychecks, and maintaining power, status, and influence. It's either Trudeau staying on and we have to live with it, or Trudeau's going to announce a leadership race and then prorogue Parliament to make that leadership race happen, or Trudeau's going to step down altogether and they're going to install a new leader to finish out the term. Either way, we have to flail in the wind as Canadians watching this all transpire. And what can we do? Well, a couple of things. Brace for impact is one, but two, start getting prepared, because if Parliament's prorogued while this is going on, it takes the idea of any type of non-confidence vote off the table. Can't happen, won't happen. And all you can do is get prepared. Start running for positions on the school board. Start looking on how to get involved in your local politics. Start looking to get involved with how to help out maybe your local MP get elected. Start looking how to get involved in your provincial politics. Find your strengths and look to start gearing up and getting ready so that we can hit the ground running when stuff finally starts moving. I'm not a huge fan of having a defeatist attitude about these things. This sucks. I hate it. It's disgusting. But it's what we're given, and excuses are for losers. So find what you're good at, look who you can get connected with, and go do that. Get connected politically, stay engaged, and get ready for when election season finally hits. That's all from me. Have yourself a great day. I'm out.